And welcome everyone to another How to Introduce series. We done the Fantastic Four, and we are moving on now to the Ultimates, not the 2000 series.
Not the racist one, but
Yeah, yeah. Not the one that people don't want to talk about. It's the Al Ewing's version of the Ultimates. So we'll break it down as we go along. But as always, you can follow me on Twitter, Mitch692, and of course, I'm joined by Sean.
Hey, what's up? You can follow me here, nowhere else but here. You can try to Google me, but I've changed all my social media names, so they're all fake.
This is where it still comes up with the same link. It's just like, oh no.
Damn it! I didn't do my job.
So
yeah, you can follow me. Yeah.
follow him right here. Don't Google him unless you want to find that mugshot and follow him.
Yeah. I can.
That's it.
I'll save you guys the trouble and just post it on the Facebook page.
I'm gonna say it's fantastic. It's absolutely
fantastic. It is scary.
As I've said, we're doing the Ultimates, which is going to be slightly different because the majority of this team are already in the MCU. I think there's only two that don't have actors or actresses for. So we'll get to that when we get to it. So first off, who would you want directing this trilogy? We're going to stick to three on this one. We're going to stick to three.
I don't know. I'm trying to think. He's got to be a sci-fi director.
Yep.
I have not prepared for this. Hold on.
See, you had Alex Garland for Fantastic Four, didn't you?
Yeah.
See, I'm 100 nicking Alex Garland for Ultimates.
Yeah. I kind of want I've always wanted a James Cameron Marvel.
James Cameron Ultimates movie would be really interesting.
Interesting, but then you kind of have to deal with a very difficult person, I'm sure.
So you'd have to James Cameron.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind. I don't mind Duncan Jones all that much because, I don't know. I really enjoyed Moon. Warcraft was all right. But he's got to definitely after watching his first movie, Moon, I definitely wouldn't mind seeing what he can do with a big franchise, or again with a big franchise.
No, so you'll definitely be interesting. Yeah, as I said, Nick and Alex Garland, he's 100% mine for this one.
Yeah, I mean, there's something about Garland that kind of spoke to me. That he's got that sci-fi. I love his visions of sci-fi. It's not too, I don't know. It's not too cityscapey CGI-ish. It's just kind of I don't know. Ex Machina probably is one of my favorite sci-fi movies.
Absolutely, fantastic movie.
Yeah,
fantastic. I almost went for Neil Blomkamp.
Man, he needs to get. They need to get him in there somewhere because,
But I'm very much on Neil Blomkamp for Inhumans train, so I didn't want to shuffle him away from one to put on another.
Yeah. I don't know. I like Neil. I like because Neil Blomkamp is kind of forgotten. I haven't heard from any of his stuff
I know he done Chappie and that was it.
Oh. Yeah, and he has a really unique vision, I think, but can he handle it?
I think that's the question. No, I'm not sure. I don't want him to be another Trank.
Yeah, oh God, no. Nobody wants to be another Trank.
I don't even think Trank wants to be Trank.
Nah.
Well, that is the fear, but then that's why you put him on the Inhumans. If he screws up, he screws up. You haven't got to see it again. There you go.
Yeah.
It just means that, like the Fantastic Four, we'll have to wait 20 years to get a good movie.
Yeah, I mean, I like your pick too. Garland is the only reason I wouldn't pick Garland is I picked him for Fantastic Four. Yeah. But I
have to save Garland for the heavy sci-fi movie.
Yeah, I want to go for Duncan Jones. Just some of it. I mean, as much as I love to see what James Cameron could do, but I don't know. I've heard people's horror stories of dealing with that guy, and I don't think I would ever want to deal with him. So
they just can't get him out of his little submarine, his little dig diver.
I mean, plus he seems like a really big bleep, bleep, bleep.
Exploited, deleted, or deleted.
Yeah. Enter your own word, you know.
But right, so that's director's done. Now we have the interesting bit of the cast, because obviously the Ultimates. I want to keep the Ultimates as the comic lineup, so like Captain Marvel, Black Panther, Monica Rambeau, or Spectrum.
Yeah.
Blue Marvel, who I almost forgot earlier, and I nearly kicked myself. I was like, how do I forget Blue Marvel? And America Chavez. Which, even though Chavez is an interesting one, because like she's going to be on Young Avengers, I assume. Moving her around, but then who's to say people can't be on two teams at once? So.
Well, you know, the good thing about like the Ultimates is like most of these people are cast anyway. So you got Captain Marvel, you got Chadwick Boseman as
T'Challa,
Black Panther. So you only have to really come up with like what, and we also have, you know, like when Galactus is already introduced, you know, you got him already, you know. So
because my only thing is like America Chavez. There's rumors that she's in, I think, Doctor Strange 2 or WandaVision. It's one of the two. It's one of them.
It's WandaVision. Yeah.
So it's the case. Oh yeah, it is WandaVision. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I think there's speculation she's going to be in Doctor Strange 2 because multiverse, and it makes.
Yeah, I think she'll end up with both of them. To be honest with you.
Yeah. So it's. I assume she's already got. Maybe not got cast, but they know who they want, and I assume it's going to be some random unknown.
Mm-hmm. So, but who would you?
This is the thing. I don't know. I unfortunately do not know many actors that would fit that role, especially of that kind of an age. So,
well, she's in her 20s, right?
I mean, around that, yeah. She's not an old character. If she's in her 20s, I wouldn't be, or if she's a teenager, I wouldn't be surprised. I assume like early to mid 20s at least, or at most, I should say. But so I honestly don't know. At this point, I'm just kind of like, whoever they just get some random unknown, just get some unknown for that role. It's perfect for it. So,
I mean, you can. You can
also.
Also,
if you have an idea for a Chavez.
Well, I was thinking because, like, you know, there's a person that, I mean, she's already in the House of Mouse anyway. So I mean, it's Sophia Carlson.
I've heard the name. I don't think I've seen the face.
You know, she's a Radio Disney Music Awards type. You know, like they have. She's like I think she was in like I can't remember, but she's young, she's Latino, so like.
Did you say Sophia Carson?
Yeah, Carson. Yeah,
Carson. Huh. I mean, I can see it.
But I mean, whatever they have, I'm sure is like super duper, you know, right for whatever it is. But that's who I would like, you know, maybe if I had to.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad. I would not be mad.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, I couldn't be mad with anyone when I'm like, yeah, just get whoever. No, I don't know.
I say just get mad because it's fun that way. I don't know.
Yeah. So now the interesting one, or more interesting for me, because it's an odd role. Because I'm not entirely sure how old Adam Brashear Blue Marvel is.
Yeah.
I know he's very much got the salt and pepper Mr. Fantastic hair going on. I just can't pinpoint how old he is. So, do you go old? Because if you want to go old, I've got the spot on choice for Adam Brashear.
Well, I think you can go either way. I mean, like some of that stuff can be enhanced. I mean, he doesn't necessarily have to be super old. I would say in the mid 40s, early 50s, maybe.
But that's younger than what I've got. But
yeah. Well, I mean, like a face. I mean, my choice. I don't know. We'll go with your choice first, and then.
I was thinking, in a perfect world, if age wasn't an issue, and then again, Two-Face is a mainly CGI character. It wouldn't be that hard to do. But Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Denzel. It's such a played out casting for Adam Brashear. But it's just like, I wish.
Yeah.
Why couldn't we have been at this point 10 years ago when he wasn't 65?
Yeah.
Like,
and he can barely move, I'm sure.
It's just like, man, if only.
Yeah, it's a good cast. that's a good the good person for the role. I mean, I honestly, and I know people are always going to go to the Idris Elba routes, but I'm not.
I mean, Alba could do it absolutely.
But that's too obvious. I think
It kind of is, yeah.
I want Morris Chestnut. He's got that, like, he's not too old. He's about 51 years old, but he looks like he looks mature.
I can see it.
And I think he's got the acting chops to kind of pull it off. I mean, like, he's been in some great movies. I mean, like, and he's been in some stinkers too. But I mean, like,
who hasn't these days?
No. It's true. I mean, even Denzel Washington's been in some stinkers. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, if you look at him, he's got that look, like that. I don't know, rugged look. You know. I mean, you're probably gonna have to add that prosthetic hair on him to kind of, because he goes bald, you know. And
who doesn't wear a wig in these things? No.
Yeah, I mean, look, you could do amazing things in makeup, you know. So like, I mean, that's like a very minor bump, you know. But like, if you look at him, man, he's got the physique for it. He's got the look. I think he's got the acting chops. I think you could easily get him on the cheap, you know.
Yeah,
easily.
Yeah.
You know, like,
it's not like, you know, it's not like Blue Marvel is a character that appears in everything. He should be in more stuff, but it's not someone you need to have everywhere because dude's ridiculously OP.
Yeah, I mean, like, you don't necessarily like, Blue Marvel's a central character in the comic, in the Ultimate, well, not a central character, but he's one of the core group, you know, core members. But he doesn't have to be everywhere in every universe. But like, who's to say you don't have to, like, expand the role a little bit, you know? But like, I look at Morris Chestnut and I'm like, yeah, I mean, look, he's got, like I said, he's got the physique for it. You don't necessarily have to enhance anything, you know, like, fudge anything with him.
Just put that look, body warmer, and away you go.
Yeah, I mean, you paint some gray stripes against that fake hair, you know, and like, you got it, man. Like, but I mean, he's a pretty tall guy too. I mean, like, how tall is the character?
I'm not entirely sure. I imagine he's pretty huge.
Yeah, I mean, this guy's about, like, 6 foot, you know, and like.
I see. When you're saying he's tall, I was imagining, like, at least taller than 6 foot, not an inch shorter than I am. No. Yeah. Just like, is that tall? I'm not entirely sure.
But I you know, like, I don't know, like, he just got that look. He's been around Hollywood for a while, so he's probably done a lot, you know, different roles, and like, I don't know, he just looks like a type of parental figure that you could put into a movie and stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to agree on your choice for that one, so that's all good with me.
He's got a cute smile, man, and I'm saying that as a man.
Right, what was our next topic? Because I stupidly closed the notes. Oh yeah, villains for this one is an interesting, because I want to stick as much to that first arc as possible. With the whole Galactus Lifebringer thing. So I think you're gonna have to use Galactus again, and hope and pray James Earl Jones doesn't kick the bucket at that point. And if he has, just like modulate someone else's voice that sounds like James Earl Jones.
I mean, look, if Ralph McCory can do it, then why can't anybody else?
Yeah, I mean, if we just put Jones on ice or something.
As soon as he's done recording, we put him down in the ice chamber downstairs along with Walt.
Just make him say every word imaginable,
and just, you know, work from there.
Yeah. And then you've got endless James Earl Jones voiceovers, and the world can continue spinning happily. So.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he, you know, like, he's gonna carry over as the quote unquote baddie, you know, in the first half of that franchise.
I mean, at least the first movie, Yeah. Because So I think we're going to be. Would you stick with Galactus for the first one?
Yeah, I mean, like, because the Ultimates are pretty. I don't know. I mean, that whole Lifebringer storyline is one of the probably the bigger storylines in the Ultimates, and I think you're gonna have to do something like that. Who was the villain? Who was the antagonist? Like,
Oh,
after that?
it was. It got kind of crazy. There was the first Firmament, like the first iteration of the Marvel Universe, was the villain at the end, really. So, which is kind of what I want to lead into. Now, let's go absolutely freaking nuts with this thing.
I mean, you gotta have to. Though.
So, you think everything is in before is batshit insane, though? Why do you see this one? Wait,
well, I mean, but
wait till you see a talking galaxy. Though. That's when you got to kind of crap yourself. I don't know how it would look. I don't know how that would look at all.
Who would you get that voice?
I don't know. I purposely haven't even thought about it because we'll get to that later.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm jumping ahead of my.
So yeah, we're sticking with Galactus then, and moving on to what I suppose what the movie would be about, really. I think even just from that, we're both in agreement that it should just be that first arc, like condensed. So I started off as a product of Reed Richards, to be honest. I can't remember how it started off originally, from what Al Ewing done, but for me, it would make sense if you're going after Galactus, you have Reed Richards be like, "Hey, I need you, and maybe
I'm hungry.
not you, to go figure out a way to stop this dude while I go talk to myself in a room full of myself."
Yeah, I mean, it's a logic because like all the key players should have been introduced by the time this.
I'd say by that time,
theoretically come out, like so you have access to like Reed Richards and stuff like that. And now my question is like, do you get Ego in here somewhere? Like the actual.
Now I'm pretty certain Ego played a part in the comics at some point.
Yeah.
Which, we'll save that for next week.
I'm worried.
Let's bring
I'm
in
jumping
Ego
ahead way too much.
Let's bring Ego this week. Yeah. I mean, in fairness, you could have Ego because my whole point was, I say my whole point. My thing was, it's Galactus going after a planet. They're trying to stop him from going from that planet. You can always say and reveal in the third act that planet's Ego.
Ego, yeah.
But obviously, a more accurate Ego.
Yeah, like you can always say that the Ego that was in Volume 2 was not the actual, true, like it was.
Yeah, but then you get rid of I can't think of his name. Kurt Russell. Yeah. See, we need Kurt Russell to stay as Ego.
Yeah.
Just have Kurt Russell's face on an orb, on a giant sphere.
Yeah.
It hasn't got to move, obviously. But, you can say, he's rebuilt himself and he's now just this way.
Yeah. Or like he, he reveals himself as the true, like a true, like that wasn't his true form, like he.
Yeah. He never quite took the full planetary body look. I just want a planet with a beard. That's all. Is that so much? Is that really so much to what? At this point,
look,
we've done everything. Just give the planet a beard, for God's sake.
Why not? Like at this point, we're introducing a planet eater for like the multiverse is already there. So I mean, like a planet with a beard is not too much. If you add a trumpet, maybe that'll a little bit more weird.
It's time too far. Actually, I've got it right. Reed learns about Ego reforming himself, so he's not entirely there yet. He's not entirely formed. He's a very sleepy, very droopy planet. Kind of can't talk properly. So maybe you get Kurt Russell back, maybe you don't. You don't have to straight away. And they have the Council of Reed is like, hey, you need this dude alive, or this planet dude. He's not what he says he is, because we're gonna get rid of that whole celestial crap that James Gunn brought in. He's an elder, therefore he can't die, but he needs to be around for cosmic balance. We need to get into the heavy sci-fi stuff with that. Now, how they make Galactus the Lifebringer and stop that, haven't got that far yet. Not entirely sure.
Well, I don't think you get into the first. I think you end the movie. Like I would end the movie with like the beginning of him becoming the life bringer.
See, I'd absolutely end it with him turning gold.
Yeah, I would just kind of hint at the beginning before in like I think the carry on to the second one. That's when you fully go on and show that, like, you just kind of not hint at it so much, but like you see the beginnings of it. You don't necessarily see him full on, like you don't see the full on life bringer until I don't know the beginning of the first act of the second movie. Fair play. Because I just feel like I guess you could go either way, but my philosophy is like less is more, in my thought. Because you're just
my thing is I've got my after credits. Like my sequel beat absolutely 100% locked in, and I do not want to change it. So it's like if we leave him gold at the end, but you have it so he's in his little like incubation cube shippy pod thing, and he just turns gold, and then that's how it kind of, I suppose, ending more like akin to a Doctor Strange. It's not going to be the same as Doctor Strange because it's not ever going to be that, but more akin to that. It's just how they get to that point is something someone much smarter than me would have to figure that one.
That's what the writers are for.
That's what Blue Marvel's for, I suppose. He finds a way. Right. And obviously you've got every major hitter just punching away at Galactus because you've got 2 Captain Marvels, you've got a multiverse teleporter.
Right. Can I ask you something? I know that it might be too early for this, but do you ever hint at Reed becoming the Maker? In any like not necessarily.
I mean, it depends because I think it was part 4 for the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
You said about maybe this Reed becomes the Maker, or a Reed from the Council of Reeds becomes the Maker.
Yeah.
So I think it depends what way you take that. If you're going to stick with, it's one of the other Reeds becomes the Maker, then no.
Yeah.
Maybe you could toy with the idea because it get like an earworm, it gets in his brain. Or even you could say like that Reed, like the Maker that you see in the Council, kind of like, well, no, it's real, but he implants like a seed of an idea in our Reed's head, and then you maybe get that journey with him, maybe you don't.
Yeah, I
just start to set him up for further down the line or something else.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like I just kind of eagerly want to get to that point for some reason because like
I'd love it. I'd absolutely love it
because it's like the most interesting Reed, I think. Because it's like like everybody knows Reed is kind of like a psychotic person, but like he's got the facade of a hero basically, and like I think the Maker kind of is like more true to himself by being who he is, and I don't know, and it's like he's just an interesting character for some reason. It's just like he just does like the most interesting things, because like the 616 Reed is like kind of boring and vanilla, I don't know.
Yeah. Honestly, I definitely do prefer the Maker version of Reed because I think it's more of a logical conclusion for him.
Yeah, it's like it's the most logical endpoint for that character.
Yeah,
because like everybody knows it, except for he doesn't see it until the very end. It's like
it's also something completely different from Marvel to do.
Yeah,
because if we're gonna make, they're gonna want the Fantastic Four to be huge. I imagine. Why would you not want them to be massive?
Yeah.
So you're gonna go with that route. You've had Tony Stark do the whole sacrifice thing. So he's the true hero. But if you have another one become a villain, that's how.
Well, I have a feeling that is probably never going to happen because of the fact that they just got the characters back, so they don't want to just like fully dump them into that. If they could
it's something you build up to, and maybe.
I have a feeling that this is no inside scoop or anything like that, but they would take the character and make it a different Reed, but not
yeah. Even then, I'll be fine with that as long as we get that version. I'm fine.
Yeah, I mean, because it's like such an interesting character, and like he's like, it's like you said, it's like the natural end to that character. It's like this character is evil. He just doesn't know it until he he knows it.
But is he evil though? Because I have noticed if you look at what Hickman done with him compared to everyone else, they're vastly different makers. Like anyone else writing the maker that's not Hickman, he's always like the moustache twirling, like I'm bad, and it's just like no, he's more complex. He's more subtle and complex than that. But...
Well, I would put him in the league of like Apocalypse or Galactus. You know, like where they're not really villains. They're not like mustache twirling villains, but they are, or even Magneto in some respect, because like
I think Magneto's a very good comparison for the maker actually. They're a very good comparison
because he's not really a villain. He's just a person that believes in his beliefs, and like he's convicted for, you know, like he's willing to go there to be, you know, like to be, you know, I can never think of the word.
Hey, here's a way you can end the movie, right? You can have 2 post-credit scenes because we're gonna jump onto that bit now. Because my first one, I want the classic like pull-out shot where you just keep zooming out and zooming out, zooming out. So like you start on Earth or the space station, wherever you're going to end the movie, and like you go to Earth, you go out the solar system, you go out the galaxy, you go out of this, but then you start seeing chains everywhere. And then you just keep pulling out, and like you see more chains, and you keep pulling out. You see like get quicker and quicker, and then you see eternity being chained up.
Yeah,
that's how I'd go, because then it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Why is this big starry dude in a white, like nothing but a white background covered in chains, and why did we just pull out of him? No.
Yeah, I mean that would be an awesome way to introduce that character. Just kind of pull out and like do that subatomic pull.
Yeah, because it's like, well, what did you do? Like, what is this? No, you just blow.
Yeah, that would definitely that would be like one of the bigger cliffhanger endings, because you just kind of like, hey, there's a character. And
so guess what? We all live in a giant spot, starry dude. Like that's what it is.
Yeah. I mean, like I think at some point you're gonna have to introduce that aspect of like the cosmic.
If not in Doctor Strange, here's the perfect start.
Yeah, I mean,
because it's either really mystical, like mystical and magic related, because then you've got like the Living Tribunal or the other cosmic like entities and constants, or it's super heavy sci-fi.
Well, I mean, I think they go hand in hand if you think about it, because like like I would love like for Doctor Strange to introduce that cosmic, you know.
I just want the Living Tribunal in that movie.
Well,
if he's going through the multiverse, it's like, how would you not do that? And like, how?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, because you're in that movie. There's gonna be a lot of like the laws of, you know, like everything's gonna be broken, like laws of like, you know, the multiverse. I mean, how do you not introduce a character that is like, hey, there's unbalance somewhere?
So he's literally the judge, jury, and executioner for the multiverse. Like if you start screwing around, he's coming in.
I mean, there has to be some. I mean, I don't know what the consequences are for that movie, or what's WandaVision has in store for the MCU, but it would be interesting to see that they introduce that character now rather than later. Like at least in terms of like, hey, there's a character like this in this universe.
Yeah.
So you could kind of
say they've already name dropped him.
Yeah. I just like they got it. Those movies they promised the cosmic, you know, aspect of these movies for what, 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah.
So like you gotta have to. They've got to come up with they got to pay off what they've said that they wanted to do, because like Guardians 3 is a cosmic thing. What there's not really any cosmic stuff though in this phase.
Eternals.
Well, I mean, like,
it's the most cosmic thing you could do.
No, yeah, okay.
Admittedly, fair play. They spend a lot of time on Earth. Fair enough.
Well,
but
I mean,
they are heavily involved.
That's another movie that you could kind of introduce the eternity aspect, because I mean, like, what's older than an Eternal? You know, like these things are, you know, they're just as old as the.
I say if you're gonna explain the Celestials' origins, you have to go through eternity in the first firmament, because they originate from the original universe.
Yeah,
So,
and I would think that, like, you know, especially dealing with those types of characters, that at least something was set up in that movie that, you know, for those characters. So.
Mhm. But any idea what you do for a post credit or?
I like that post credit.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know if I can think of anything better. I think I love the fact that it just kind of like pulls up. It almost feels like I don't know if you remember that last scene in Men in Black where
Do you want to know something? Right, I'm just going to stop you there. I've watched all 4 Men in Blacks recently. It's 100% where I got the idea from.
Yeah, that was like
100% where I got the idea.
I was gonna say that's like the best part of that movie, I think, and because it's just like
and he's just
feel
playing
small.
marbles. No,
yeah, and you feel so small when you see it pulled up. You're like, what the, you know, like God, you know, you feel so insignificant when you see something like that. And I think that the post credit that you came up with kind of like pays double.
So it absolutely is aping the ending of Men in Black.
Oh,
I'm never not going to admit that because like that is a fantastic shot and it's 100% what they should do.
Oh no,
you know, people accepted that shot in the 90s. Like we're 20, 30 years down the road, maybe 40 at the rate we're going with these movies, but people are absolutely ready for that type of shot.
Oh yeah, well I mean everybody's been clamoring for the character to be introduced. You know?
Yeah.
Like I mean he was pretty close to being introduced in Endgame. You know why not? You know like so.
If only. If only.
So so I mean like if it was that close to being introduced in the MCU, I'm 100% sure that like they're already thinking about where to put.
Are you thinking of the Living Tribunal for Endgame? Because I know Marcus and McFeely said they were going to put him in Infinity War,
That's
and
what
it's like the saving for Endgame, and then it's like either way. Well,
like the Living Tribunal. I mean, like once you introduce that aspect, then you kind of have to like say, all right, there's like when you introduce like eternity, it's not a huge.
I say I without knowing anything, I'd say for 100%, the reason why we haven't seen them yet is because that is a can of worms that is massive. How do you open that and explain it? Because if you have one, you got to explain where he's come from, then where he comes from is everything else. Are we going to do order and chaos? I absolutely want to do later on.
Have to. I mean, once
floating heads.
Once you knock those 2 dominoes down, everything else has to come down. You know?
Yeah.
But I think you know the Doctor Strange sequel and the Wanda stuff, WandaVision, and then when you get into like the other movies, like it's almost a no-brainer that some of these.
I say there's those 3 like Eternals, WandaVision, Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness are absolutely 3 key times. If you're not going to introduce them, you're never going to do it after this.
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah, because
it's like now's the time.
When you name your subtitle in the multiverse of madness, that right there tells you that you have to throw everything.
You gotta go absolutely.
You can't just subtitle a movie that and go, well, it's a couple of things. You know,
Let's just leave out one of his biggest characters in the comics, like.
But you know, like I think Doctor Strange is like a really good entry point because it's like this is a character that talks to these entities all the time. So it's like, you know, like it's not like because like he acknowledged like there's like very few human beings that these characters acknowledge, and like Doctor Strange is like one of those things. And like, I mean, we've gotten names to characters that I don't know. You know, it's just I think if you're going to introduce it, it's going to be there because like that movie's going to disrupt the laws of the universe for some time. You know, so you're going to have to like acknowledge that there's something out there that's above, you know, above them, so they go, you know, so they're gonna notice, you know. If nobody notices that like a human being is going from multiverse to multiverse to multiverse, I don't know what else.
I'm messing literally everything up.
I mean, multiverse of madness. I mean, it's not subtitled that for nothing. It's not like gonna be a couple.
Yeah, so there's clearly a reason for it.
You know, he didn't just misplace things in these universes. There's gonna be some really, really big messes that are going on, and there's gonna be repercussions on all of them.
Yeah. Now, I want 2 post-credit scenes, and I've already aped Men in Black. I'm going to ape another film, and that's well, kind of ape another film. But the first Doctor Strange movie had the Mordo scene, where he was like the whole "No More Sorcerers" bit. I kind of want to, not necessarily like that, but reveal that our Reed is that Maker Reed, or at least maybe not like the Reed Richards, like the Reed Richards that made this version of the Ultimates is that Maker Reed from the Council.
Yeah.
So, you know, our Reed can be off somewhere in night, not wondering what's going on, or maybe he's been kidnapped or something. But like, just have the Maker. Yeah, cause Reed Richards can like change how he looks. We all know this. So
yeah.
you just like shrink that head down, a giant bulb alien head, and like get rid of the scar. Because why he still has that, I don't know.
Maybe it's just like, maybe he just wants to keep it.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I kind of can't wait to see the whole the Council Reed physically, like this, because it's gonna happen eventually. That's a.
I mean, it's such a mind fuck. No.
Oh yeah,
it's gotta happen.
I was a mind fuck in the comics. Let alone, I mean, you just introduce that in the MCU, and you're kind of hitting the.
The only problem is these days people are like, "Oh, it's just copying Rick and Morty." It's like, no, shut up. Where do you think Rick and Morty got it from? It's literally the same thing. It's like, oh, the Chancellor of Rick, where's the Chancellor of Reeves? I wonder where they got that idea from. But yeah, that would be my second post-credit. Like, just keep it small, because, you know, you might not know what it means and all this and all that, and then it's just like, oh, the person that was helping him isn't actually really helping them. He's just trying to screw with our universe to make it easy to take over. Kind of like that theory people had for Thanos, like, oh, well, why didn't Thanos attack now? Oh, because Odin was still around. He's doing it now because Odin's not around. It's like, you know what? That's actually quite a good plot for the Maker. Have people take out all these big threats, quote, by neutralizing them, so like you get the Lifebringer. Like, it would clearly backfire against him, but
yeah,
there you go.
I can't wait to see it. Like, God, talking about it for like the last hour, I'm like, fuck, I can't wait to see this movie.
Exactly. And hopefully the Optimus is sooner rather than later, because I love that team to death.
Oh yeah. I think it's like one of the highly underrated comic series out there. I mean, like I just reread the first arc a couple days ago, and I'm like, this is gonna look so great in movies, man.
Especially if they just do Galactus right. You have that, which is a bit of an issue, because I suppose it's not, because like you can just introduce Galactus straight away in the Ultimates. It's not a massive problem.
Yeah. No, I mean, but it wouldn't be bad to have him as an established character before that.
No.
Because like when he does that massive 360 and change of character when he becomes a Lifebringer, it's not like.
I say it's got some weight behind it. It's not just this thing that we've been told it's planets. Like,
yeah, because you want some time as the classic of Galactus.
Yeah.
You know, before you turn him into like the golden hero. You know.
And then we rip that away from him eventually, and now on top of the whole like, oh no, I kill millions of people every day, to like, I was a good guy. I didn't have the hunger. I was a good guy. Why did you take this away from me? Just make this tragic dude even more tragic. Really just like grind home that he's doomed for a life of tragedy.
Lifetimes of just becoming like, I don't know, you know, like he's not a bad character inherently. He's just a force of nature.
Yeah, he's a universal need.
Yeah, he's sort of like I think what Thanos and the MCU wanted, but it happens naturally with Galactus. It's not like Galactus planned it, you know, like, you know. But yeah, it's gonna be awesome to see. I can't wait to that Galactus character to be introduced. You're gonna need an IMAX screen just to see it. Like, I want the character to be so big that like I've always like, ever since like they got the Fox properties back, or even before then, I've always wanted this scene where it's like the 3/4 of the screen is just like part of his face, and you can see his eyeball or his eyes.
Yeah. You know,
the characters are so small, they just barely. You know,
the San Diego Eternals concept poster, where you had the planets in, like, I assume it was Earth and the Moon in the background, and that Celestial just kind of like looking over its shoulder backwards.
It's like eclipsing the. It's like those things are just like specks in the.
And like everyone's going like, oh, that's how big they are. It's like, no, that's clearly standing on something else. Have Galactus actually be that big?
Yeah.
Have him be that. Maybe not quite, because then eating planets is silly because they're so small. But like, have him around that sort of size where you just have him. I just want to see him standing space and be able to hold the planet in his hand. I want that size Galactus. Just like
I want, because like Galactus can shift his mass to whatever. So like you could have Galactus be as big as planets, or or just, I don't know. I've always wanted a scene where Silver Surfer is like on the screen, but he's like basically, I don't know. He's the size of the eyeball or the eye of Galactus, and Galactus is just staring at him while he's talking. Not saying a word. Just staring at him.
It's got to have the black eyes with the square iris.
Yeah.
Chef
and like the whole movie screen doesn't capture how big he is. It's just
the edges are slightly out of focus because he's so big.
Yeah.
He's got a slight gravitational pull. Just like rocks start going around him. Oh, they could do something.
Or I'll just take something that doesn't resemble a fart cloud. So.
Oh no, he is the fart cloud that forms into Galactus because he can change his mass. And then he farts himself away at the end.
Yeah, like it'll just destroy the whole universe at that point. Gas explosion.
He sets it alight and there's just a big bang. It's like boom.
But
all right, we are going to end that one on Galactus Supernova Fart Cloud.
That's my post credits.
Excellent. Got to keep the comedy in there somewhere. Keep the PG-13 rating going. Need a fart joke.
Gotta keep the laughs going. So
because that's the thing I've noticed with none of mine are inherently funny. So that's probably why they will never happen. They'll never have the humor. Never not have the humor. But it's just like, so an Alien ripoff, My Fantastic Four, not inherently funny. You could get some funny out of it, but not inherently funny.
There's no chuckles.
That's why you bring in Ego. Ego's the funny.
He's the chuckle maker.
Big planet. You didn't think about it, but he's the funny guy.
He doesn't look like a funny guy, but he actually is the funniest guy in the universe. Next to Drax.
So that's gonna bring us to a close. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Let us know how you would do it. If it's too complicated for you, tough. I don't
Sorry.
care. No.
Give me 2 paragraphs of the best.
Just be warned, the comment section for YouTube has changed, and yes, it does suck. So.
Really?
Yeah. I scrolled down on the app, and because I scrolled down too far, it told me the comments had moved, and then took me back up to where they are. It's just like, you expected this. Why did you even do it then? And like, you just see one comment, you click and it expands. Now it's a load of crap, but it's still there. You can still comment. So, let us know how bad the idea was. Let us know how cool it was. Whatever you thought about it. I don't care.
Tell me how much I suck.
I just thank you for watching the video and supporting the channel. That's all I can.
Yeah, man. So. You can talk. You can tell me whatever you want to.
So everyone stay safe. Stay inside. Don't be the person that goes outside, please. Please, just don't be that person.
Don't be like me.
I have not left the house. I tell a lie, I left the house on Monday's walk dog. But bar that, it's been a good 10 weeks. And
you've actually grown another personality after this. I only go out when I have to.
Yeah. So we will hopefully catch you all next week. So bye.
Bye-bye.